Hello everyone, this is Untitled 2 and welcome to part 2 of my Megacraft mod overview. This time we'll be covering the upgrades as well as the long distance power transferring system, as well as the Magmite Reactor, forcefield and certain other minor things. Otherwise though, we'll continue on with the long distance power though, compared to covering the connectors and other transfer methods prior to this. So the long distance or long wave transfer system has it where obviously you have a transmitter, transformer I mean. You have a flux wave transformer where you have it where obviously you have the actual transferring method of the transmitter, connector and receptor, which can obviously transmit 120 blocks compared to the regular 12. But one thing in that these can't do, that the regular ones can, is actually be able to transfer from one source to another. So say a generator or an ESD, you can't actually use the long wave or long distance ones for actually transmitting the power. You have to have it where you transform it into a long distance power format and then change it back to a regular. So obviously in that both of these are ready, so this one's ready, that one's actually not in a current state where I'll need it, and you'll see the red at the bottom, the blue at the top. I'll just fix the connection there real quick. So this to this, and that to that to that. Obviously I don't need the connector in the middle, I'm just demonstrating that you can use it if you want to go a larger distance, or further distance away, and obviously that's still 120, the others are 120, so you'll be going at least around about 240-ish blocks away. So I've got lava turning into power to fill up this, and then from there obviously, because this isn't actually in the correct state, I can change that, and it'll actually fill up this ESD here, because obviously that's outputting power, that's the long distance, so that is going into there, transforming into long distance formatting, and then from there going back to regular again. So the long distance can't actually go from ESD to ESD or generator to ESD, it has to be turned into its regular form through a transmitter, or transformer, sorry. Sort of think of it, I guess, like low or high tiered power rates, I guess, from say industrial craft or so. Otherwise we have things like the powered soil and water fabrication tank. Powered soil as it has it, where if you put seeds on it, of course, and you power it, which I don't have a generator doing so currently, it'll have it where it actually powers it. Actually no, it's self-powered, whoops, it seems. Yeah, so powering, it'll do it on its own, but obviously it can assist with external power. Water fabrication tank though, from what I sort of understand, is that it's basically like a, I guess you could say the Enduria reservoir, or sort of just a infinite water block. So for example, I can take a bucket out of this, and not just because I'm in creative, but it'll keep, it won't, well, in creative won't give it to me, but either way it'll just be an infinite water source. So I can just say, for example, connect this up to it, and I'll change the frequency. As you can see, it'll fill that up completely, so I get an empty tank, that'll instantly fill it up infinitely. So you can do that if you wish. Otherwise though, get into upgrades, and then a bit more of, I guess, some of the solar panel-like generators. The upgrades obviously range from things like the sort of base ones you'd expect, to from speed to energy to secondary output, and obviously base template items, ingredients. And then from there, obviously, you can make an internal void, which obviously voids items, the ability to cook only food, cooking only ores, another output in the primary port slot, making an alloy smelter, so it has it where you can make ingots from the ore or the dust. This is good in that when having a tripling system, which I've experimented with a bit myself. Let's see, what was I again? Ore washing, which assists with tripling besides the ingot way of doing it. The compacting, which obviously turns ingots into blocks, or plates into Magmite again, or their ingot counterparts, or the plate compactor, which also actually fits with this, but it wasn't shown for the recipe. So obviously you're going to want to consider in that what tier you have that you put these upgrades in, and you'll just notice that if I put, say, 1 in here, it'll only do food. So for example, I get a potato, and bake it, but if I put an ore in here, it won't do anything with it, but I don't actually have a generator, so can't really demonstrate that. The ore's sitting there, but nothing's happening, but the potato will cook, because it has that upgrade in. And if I did the same with a different upgrade, then it would obviously only apply to that. And it doubles it, obviously, so that's cooking it. Certain others will change the way they look, though, I'm pretty sure, with, say, for example, let's see, alloy furnace. No, that probably might have been, never mind. But hopefully you get the idea, at least, with the different possibilities that they're required in this slot, and they will restrict what they focus on. If you wanted to have it where you had a tripling system, though, you'd most likely, without using other mods obviously, be using these upgrades as well as hoppers, as well as tanks for you doing lava generation and otherwise. Do the reactor now. So if I put, say, 1 Magmite rod in, compared to a cave Magmite rod, I can put that in there like so. That'll increase in heat. If I remember correctly, we get to a certain point where obviously it's outputting power astronomically, and then it'll fill up into there. You obviously want to be careful of heat, because the more and more fuel cells you put in, it's obviously going to heat up a lot quicker. If I put, say, a cave Magmite one in, it's going to exceed the fuel level, and it's obviously going to output a lot of power. So you want to be careful of this. But obviously I don't have a emptied one of that, so it doesn't seem to want to empty it too proper there. So that's going to go, oops, that's not it, that's why. Oops. Need to keep remembering that that's from the bottom upwards. So yeah, be careful of heat. I'm pretty sure water does assist with this, but I could be wrong. It will explode though if you're not too careful though. And finally, in part 3 we'll cover the forcefield system, as well as any other minor things like the dark fabricator and the other solar panels. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.